We won. The Eagles won. They pulled their way out of that game. They went into cold Chicago. They won the game. Okay? At the end of the day, that is what's on the standing sheet. That is the most important thing. At least we didn't lose. There were a lot of teams today, Sunday, Saturday, Thursday that weren't so lucky. But the Eagles pulled out the win. And there's many reasons for that. The first reason why the Eagles won is because Chicago didn't have any good receivers, right? They couldn't stretch the field. Their number one weapon was Justin Fields, their quarterback. And I think that guy ran for over 100 yards. I think that guy has over 1,000 rushing yards this season. So, hey, Chicago Bears, if you want your team to be better and you want your quarterback to be better, next season, draft a wide receiver or sign a wide receiver in free agency because that'll make your team immensely better. Right? I think Justin Fields only threw 21 passes in that game. So, but I mean, as a team that is claiming to have aspirations to go far this season, that was not a good showing. That was not a good, I hate to break it to you, but that was not a good showing. I can only envision myself, or not envision myself, but I can only envision this team going up against a playoff team. That won't be the result at all. Like this is no offense to the Bears. They are not the 85 Bears. They are not the Bears of the early 90s defense. They are not the Lovie Smith era Chicago Bears. They're not. Nor should they be. But it's really strange that the Eagles coaching staff looked at the Chicago Bears and said to themselves, pass the ball. That's how we're going to win this game. We're going to win this game by passing the football. It's 20 degrees. It's below freezing. And we have a 1,000-yard running back. We have some other pretty good depth backs. We have one of the best offensive lines in the league. The game plan should have been run the football. Run the football. And not with Jalen Hurts, with our running backs. But for whatever reason, I mean, I think it's about 2 or 3 times a season, every Eagles head coach does this. Every Eagles head coach falls into this pitfall of, we don't care how bad the opposing team's run defense is, throw the ball 40 times a game. That's how we're going to win. We're going to try to, they know they're going to try to stop the run, but we know that they're going to try to stop the run, or we think that they're going to try to stop the run, or we think they think they're trying to stop the run. So we're going to do the opposite of what we should do. Happened with Andy Reid all the time. After we went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Patriots. Happened with Chip Kelly a bunch of times. Happened with Doug Peterson a bunch of times. A calendar year ago, when Nick Sirianni first became the Eagles head coach, he was doing that all the time. Yes, Miles Sanders fumbled the ball, and that's unacceptable. It was his first fumble of the season, but we really could have used him in the cold there. Now, when it gets cold, the ball gets harder. When it gets cold, it becomes harder to throw the ball. When it gets cold, it gets harder to catch the ball. When it gets cold and your quarterback gets hit because he's running around or he's running up the middle, those hits are going to be harder and harder and harder. I hate to break it to you, but if the Eagles happen to win the division, there will be at least one playoff game in Philadelphia. So at the end of the day, I don't understand what was going on with the play calling. Your quarterback is getting teed off on. Your quarterback threw 2 interceptions, one of which was absolutely one of the dumbest plays that I've ever seen. you just get a first down off a 3rd and 3, and you follow that up with just throwing one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen. Jalen Hurts did not play well in that first half. Yes, his legs saved the day a few times. Having A.J. Brown was great. Having Devontae Smith was great. But we just need to get Dallas Goedert back because everything suffered in that game. And it seemed like we weren't trying to run the ball, even though we should have been running the ball. It's a cold weather game. It's below freezing. You should be running the ball. This is key, running the ball weather. On the other side of the field, Hassan Riddick got a few really key sacks. The whole defensive line played really well. But really, the two things on defense that were really bad by this team was Fletcher Cox doesn't recover that fumble, which eventually led to a touchdown. You got to recover that fumble. If the ball's in your hand, there is zero excuse for why you don't recover that fumble. And when Justin Fields, that play on, 2nd and 27, where he ran the ball 40 yards, I see a lot of guys not even trying to tackle. Not even trying. Not even trying to get after the quarterback. Trying to make hits. You're not going to take him down by hitting him. You're going to take him down by making a wrap-up tackle. And you didn't do that. It was almost like you were expecting someone else to take him down, and not you. It was almost like you were too afraid to take him down. And what ended up happening? He got 20 extra yards. He got 20 extra yards. That's what absolutely ticks me off about this defense specifically. Nobody is willing to tackle, right? They're trying to force a fumble, and usually when you're trying to rip the ball out like that, you're not. You're not. Usually that stuff happens by accident, or at least that's my personal experience. That last drive, by the way, where the Bears went down the field and he threw a touchdown to Pringle. What are you doing, Darius Slay? Here's the thing, right? What is the bigger play? Now look, I understand the Eagles won, so whether the outcome of that play doesn't even matter. Let me ask you a key question. What's worse? Letting a guy go behind you free for a touchdown when you were clearly in a zone, or letting Justin Fields get 20 yards on that play? What's worse? I mean, the key answer should have been letting a wide receiver go right by you. You consider yourself a Pro Bowler. What are you doing? I don't understand the thought process of that play, and it absolutely made me upset because a lot of people consider Darius Slay to be a Pro Bowler, even though he didn't play like a Pro Bowler on that play. But in my own personal, I personally believe the defensive line bailed the Eagles out, A.J. Brown bailed the Eagles out, and Devontae Smith bailed the Eagles out. And some really good passes by Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts, he really turned it on in the second half. The first half, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what the play calling was doing. They weren't helping him out, and he wasn't helping himself out. So, in my eyes, if that was against a playoff team, we lose. We lose. It's plain and simply said. And unlike in the regular season, where you might have a chance to rebound the next week, dude, in the playoffs, you're one and done. You're done if you don't play up to the way you need to play. So, no, do I think that the Eagles should have blown the Bears out? No. But they should have played mistake-free football. There is absolutely no reason why that first interception should have ever happened. The second interception was a bad throw. But on 3rd and 10, sometimes that happens. This was on 1st and 10 inside the Bears territory. You can't do that. You can't. But again, the team won. That is the before I am a proud Negadelphian, but before anyone comes out and clowns me for that, yes, the team won. And that is the most important thing. And the team is 13-1 at this point. And you know, I would say that they should be proud of themselves, but this game it didn't feel like a game that where the team played up to par, their own standards. And they need to do better next week. Believe me, they need to do better.